In this movie, I'll show you how to add more path outlines to an existing compound shape in order to finish off the word Colleen. So obviously, we could express the end of this word with an independent compound shape. That would be fine. But let's just say, for whatever reason, I want to keep the entire name together. Well, one way to work would be to marquee all the letters like so, and then go over here to the Pathfinder panel, and once again, Alt or Option click the exclude icon, which would mess up the fill and stroke, but otherwise we end up with a single compound shape, and the interaction of the first four letters goes unharmed. But here's the problem. If I now double-click on any one of these path outlines to enter the isolation mode, I can access the new subpaths just fine. But if I click on one of the old ones, I select them all together because they're part of a nested compound shape. So in other words, they are another compound shape, as you can see on the far left side of the control panel, that is inside the newest compound shape. And what's really damning about that is I can't enter an isolation mode for these letters. If I double click on them, nothing happens. So here's the better way to work. I'm just going to escape out, and then I'll press Control-Z or Command-Z on the Mac to undo that new compound shape. And now I'll just marquee these guys right here, make sure I've selected all of them, and then go up to the Edit menu and choose the Cut command, or you can press that very common keyboard shortcut of Control-X or Command-X on the Mac. Now, double-click on any one of these path outlines to once again enter the isolation mode, and then go up to the Edit menu and choose Paste in Front, or you can press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac, and that adds these letters to the existing compound shape, which means I can select every subpath independently. All right, now I want to be able to see what I'm doing, so I'll go ahead and marquee these new guys here, and I will Alt-click or Option-click on the Exclude icon in order to override their previous shape mode. All right, now I obviously have quite a bit of work to do here, so I'll go ahead and click this path outline, this rectangle here, and Shift-click this circle, and I'll Alt-click or Option-click on minus front in order to subtract them. Then I'll select this guy right here, as well as this one, if I can get to it. Can't that way. I'll have to Shift-click on it over here. And maybe I should zoom in so you can better see what I'm doing. With these two path outlines selected, I'll Alt or Option-click on the Unite icon in order to finish off that N. And as you can see, this N is behind some other stuff. In order to remedy that situation, just go ahead and marquee like so in order to avoid this big rectangle, and then right-click anywhere in the document window, choose Arrange, and then choose Bring to Front. And that will take care of all of the problems affecting the N. But we still have some other problems going on in the background, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and marquee these top rectangles here, and I'll Alt or Option-click minus front in order to subtract them. And that actually makes a huge difference. The N is now in good shape, as you can see. And next, I'll go ahead and select this modified ellipse and Shift-click on this one in order to select both of them. And I will Alt or Option-click on the Unite icon in order to fix just about everything that's wrong with the E's, except for this rectangle here is obviously in the wrong stacking order. It's in the wrong front to back location. So I'm going to select it and press Control-X or Command-X on the Mac to cut it. And then I'll try to find this rectangle right there, and I'll press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac to paste it in front. And then I have to do that exact same thing for this rectangle. Go ahead and select it, press Control-X or Command-X on the Mac in order to cut it, and then click on this big rectangle and press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac to paste it in front. All right, now we still have a problem. Notice these tiny little notches that are showing up here. I figured out that's a function of the edges of the big rectangles. They're not far enough over. So to make them visible, because otherwise I probably won't have a chance of selecting them correctly, I'll press Control-Y or Command-Y on the Mac to switch to the preview mode. Then I'll press the A key in order to select the white arrow tool. And then I'll go ahead and click on this edge right there in order to select it independently. And I know I've done it right because I have hollow anchor points, which indicates that the rest of the path is not selected. And then I'll Shift-click on this edge as well right there. And now I'll press Control-Y or Command-Y on the Mac in order to re-enter the preview mode, and I'll press Shift-left arrow in order to scoot those edges 10 points over, which totally takes care of the problem. All right, now I'll zoom out for a last look, and it looks pretty darn good to me. So I'll just go ahead and press the escape key to escape out of the isolation mode. And that, folks, is how you take a bunch of additional path outlines and paste them into an existing compound shape, and then edit those paths to absolute perfection in order to create a custom type effect here inside Illustrator.